Stvkt Skateboards.
How's it going, guys, and welcome to Stvkt Skateboarding. I'm your host, Jesse Slammarella, and today we are going to be doing a review of the False Assault prescription skateboard that I got from the Northern Ontario Canadian skateboard company, False Assault. So, as you can see in the last probably 2.5 months, 3 months of skating vlogs that you've seen here on Stvkt Skateboarding, you will have noticed this deck right here. And as you can see, she has been used quite a bit, down to the razor tail here, almost hitting that purple layer in the middle there. Lots of wheel bite, lots of nose slides and tail slides, and board slides. So yeah, before it gets any more damaged and unrecognizable, I want to put this puppy up on my wall. So yeah, grip tape has been thrashed to hell on the sides. So what did I think of this board? This board lasted me the entire time of skating and would probably still have a good couple of months left of skating on it. The amount of skating that I do is normally 1 to 2 times a week for about 2 to 3 hours at a time, maybe a little more, maybe a little less if it's just a solo session. But yes, in the meantime, this board has held up really well. It's good for sliding, has good pop. The concave is fairly mellow. As you can see, it has just a slight transition from the kick there to the main part of the board. The space where it starts to get flat from the bolts to the nose is about 2.5 or 3 fingers length. So you're going to need some trucks that have the wheels set further back so that you can get that optimal pivot point. So I'm not exactly sure how my trucks really fit into that. I think it may have gave me a little shallower of a pop, but even with the shallower pop and the mellower tail and concave, I still got quite a bit of pop out of this board. So I would say that's still pretty good. There's a bit of a curve on the sides here, so it gave you a little bit more of a scoop. But once again, all of the curving and concave and whatnot is fairly mellow for this board. I'm not really used to mellow concave or pop or tails or anything like that, but I was still able to do what I needed to do with this board. So no points taken away there. It was just something different to get used to. And if you don't like a lot of concave, if you don't like a lot of curvature to your nose or tails, you don't want to work that extra hard to get your thing to pop up, this would be perfect for you. So definitely no points taken away there. At no point did I ever feel like the board was going to snap, tail wise, nose wise, or in between. The board held up really nicely under a lot of extreme pressure. For example, I'm about 185 pounds and I'm not nice to my decks. If I'm gonna land, sometimes I'm just gonna land straight in the middle, and sometimes the board's just gonna either have to stick with me or collapse. This thing stuck with me the whole time. Yeah, I'm a big boy, I'm a big daddy skater, so this thing just kept pumping with me. Hard maple, Canadian maple wood seems to be doing the trick here, and then that's where False Assault gets their wood. So they definitely made a good choice with the pressing company and the type of wood that they used for these boards. No complaints there. Also, if you take a look, there are no pressure cracks anywhere near the bolts or where the truck's set up, and that's normally where you're going to see pressure cracks, is where the trucks and bolts are. The only other place you might see it is around the tail, where you're constantly landing on, or the nose. And I haven't had any chips or pressure cracks within the 3 months of having this thing. So once again, this thing held up really well. And I have slammed this into the pavement a few times. I slammed it into some curbs. The nose and tail have held up really well. It doesn't seem like it would be prone to that even with the razor tail. It's still held together. The glue or whatever they use to press the wood is definitely strong enough and flexible enough to be able to handle the abuse. The image, once again, has their FA logo at the bottom and the False Assault name of the board on the top. In the middle, you have the prescription bottle with another False Assault skateboard in the inside it. Really neat, and I like that it symbolizes the fact that physical activity and skateboarding can be a good cure for your bad mood, or if you're feeling a little depressed or under the weather, that going out there and skating can really possibly turn things around for you. I mean, unless you're just not landing any tricks. But I like the message this board sends with the image, and I love the red to purple gradient that they have there, the merge. It really kind of blended together my Zoo York board and my Dark Star board, which was red and purple. So it was like a nice little in-between merge there, color-wise, and just kind of, I don't know, psychologically made me feel that much better about the board for some reason. So yes, all in all, this board held up really well. The only thing that I would say that I wasn't expecting was the mellow concave and the 3 fingers lengths of flat from where the bolts and trucks go on to the actual uprising of the nose and curve and tail and stuff like that. But even with that being a surprise, I was still able to do everything I needed to do on this board. As you could see from the other skate vlogs that we've done, I've actually been able to progress and learn tricks on this board, so there should be no reason why you can't. And I'm definitely recommending False Assault skateboards to anyone who wants to purchase one, and I've actually suggested it to a bunch of people while skating, and to a couple of my friends in the US and otherwise who are looking into getting into skating or wondering what deck they should skate. I always say I'm skating False Assault, and I would highly recommend it. So yeah, for me, for quality, 10 out of 10 quality. Image, good 8.5 image. It's really cool. It's not like anything too crazy and over the top or gory or technical. It's a nice simple design, but not too simple and boring like just a plain logo. I think the extra little effort of putting in an extra image on here and the ideal that the image is setting forth is nice too. That, encouraging physical activities and hobbies, and skating is a good way to cure what ails you. So yeah, like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for the image. The only thing else that I could say about this is that maybe in the future they could work with more concave and steeper tails, but that's my preference. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for me when it came to the shape and style of the board, but I can't really fault it there. As a preference for my personal taste, I'll give that a 7.5 out of 10, because once again, I was still able to do all the tricks I normally do on this, plus learn a bit more, so it didn't hinder me at all by any means. So I'm still going to give it a pretty positive rating of a 7.5 out of 10 for the style of the board when it comes to the shape. So yeah, all in all, I'd say an average of an 8 out of 10 for this first line of False Assault boards. Once again, would highly recommend if you're looking for something that's durable, something that has a cool image, and something that has a good general style and shape. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the False Assault skateboard, the prescription deck to be specific, and I have some inner knowledge knowing that they are currently working on another line, hopefully soon. I think they might be trying to get the design submitted by November, and maybe we'll see an early 2020 release for the next False Assault deck. And you can bet your ass I'll be trying to get my hands on a copy of that. From the sounds of what it's going to be looking like, going to be really, really cool, and you'll definitely want one if you're interested in these. Cheers, thanks very much for watching, and keep skating, guys. All links will be in the description box below.
This is just a Slammarilla from Stvkt Skateboards.